Hey folks, it's Putt Putt. I'm at the Norse Peak Trailhead. I'm gonna hit up the Norse Peak Wilderness this weekend, doing an overnighter in the Big Crow Basin. Crystal Mountain Ski Resort down there. Heading left on the Goat Lake Trail instead of heading straight on the Norse Peak Trail. I'm gonna connect the Goat Lake Trail up with the PCT around Bernard Saddle. In 2017 there was a wildfire in the Norse Peak Wilderness, so there's all these skeleton trees all over the place. I'm officially on the PCT. Just made the turn onto the Basin Trail, so I've diverted from the PCT, and this is gonna loop around and then eventually hook up back up with the PCT tomorrow. Made it to camp at Basin Lake for the evening. It's pretty early. I made it in at like 3 o'clock, which is fine with me because now I get to relax, read a book, and have some dinner. I did about 8.5 miles today, so not too bad, pretty easy day. A lot of climbing, but once I got onto the PCT, the trail is pretty easy. I think camping here tonight leaves me with about 12 or so tomorrow to complete the loop. So I'll be getting up at a decent time, probably won't be sleeping in. But 12 miles won't be too bad as long as I get up and get going at a decent time. There's some goats way up there. I don't know if you can see them. Day 2, time to hit the trail. Got a half-mile hike back out of this campsite here at Basin Lake. back onto the Basin Trail, down along Cement Basin, and hit up Crown Point and round the corner back to the PCT and complete this loop. I was here last year in 2019, and just up the trail here, the Basin Trail was not followable. There was a fire here in 2017 and there is no longer a trail, so I'm hoping this year maybe the trail is starting to come back if some other folks have hiked it. But this time I did bring my Gaia app on my phone and a map and compass, so I'm hoping to actually be able to complete the loop this time. That's where the trail goes. I'm not gonna like that. I don't like heights. It goes there and wraps around over to the other side there. Back on the PCT, heading southbound towards North Peak. Brain fart. What I meant to say was back on the PCT heading northbound. Made it back to the junction of the PCT and the Basin Lake Trail, which is where I got off the PCT yesterday to go head into camp at Basin Lake. So I'm gonna, this loop is kind of like a figure 8 loop. So now I'm gonna do a short little stretch of PCT that I did yesterday, and then I head left to head back towards the North Peak trailhead instead of taking the PCT to Bernard Saddle to make a figure 8. Here's where I had left up the North Peak Trail. So I guess this trail is, it's not a loop, it's not quite a figure 8, it's kind of like a dumbbell. But hopefully this will be the last climb and then just downhill back to my car. Made it back to my car with no break-ins, so that's always good. This trip was a really great overnighter. I highly recommend it. Super glad I was able to do the whole thing this time instead of stopping like I had to do last year. The trail was discernible today, so I was able to follow it. I did have a Gaia app, which was super helpful. Traffic. super helpful because there are a lot of spots where the trail is unmarked and a lot of little side trails and animal paths and stuff like that. So I still would recommend having the Gaia app. But with that and my map, it was not super easy, but relatively easy to follow. Some great views, the wildflowers were out, which smelled amazing. This loop was roughly 21 miles, not a loop, but more like a dumbbell, but about 21 miles, so a perfect 2-day trip or 3-day trip if you want to relax. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy watching these little adventures, please consider subscribing, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.